Hey, have you ever looked at someone who is just going from strength to strength? And maybe you even know that they've been trying and failing, but they just dust themselves off and they try again, and eventually they succeed and their life is improving. They're getting pay rises and promotions, maybe they're starting businesses, but in general, their life is improving. And maybe you've asked yourself, what is it they do or think that allows them to keep making progress all the time, that allows them to keep getting up and trying? Or maybe on the contrary, you know someone who's just been stuck in the same problem for ages and they just refuse to do anything about it or even acknowledge that they have some kind of control over the situation, or that they could do something about it. And you're thinking, how is that possible that they can tolerate that they can just sit there and do nothing? Well, the difference that separates those that keep improving and keep working on themselves and those that never do is what I want to share with you today. Hey, this is Tomas from okisnotenough.com, helping you become the best version of yourself and create a more exciting and more fulfilling life. So press that little sucker and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the awesome content that I will be sharing with you guys in the future. When I was around 24, something happened that changed my life for good. Until then, I was just going through my days thinking, well, this is what life is, and more importantly, this is just who I am. And then because of a series of negative events, things like breakups and someone else getting promoted instead of you, and other kind of slaps life can sometimes generously deliver, I realized that I haven't really earned anything better because I was just cruising through life. I had a chilling and scary realization that if I kept going the same way, my future would be pretty upsetting. I remember projecting 10 years ahead, being 34, 35, and having the same job that I disliked, to say the least. That I would be going from salary to salary, living in the same conditions and looking at successful and accomplished people, wishing it was me. I realized that something had to change. I had to change something. And then I realized that I had to change. I remember sitting on my bed in my tiny room that I shared with someone that I barely knew. And I was Googling things like how to be more successful, how to make more money, how to get promoted, how to get a better job. Somehow that led me to discover personal development. And I bought my first personal development book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's one of the classics, one of the early books on personal development. It blew my mind because I realized that I can learn how to get better with people, how to be more interesting, how to be more confident, how to be more valuable, that I can work on my fears and insecurities, that I can change and improve not just one area of my life, but overall as a person. And in that moment, my mind unlocked from fixed to growth mindset. And this is what I want to share with you today because it made absolutely profound and life-changing difference to my life. So what's the difference between people with fixed mindset and people with growth mindset? People with fixed mindset believe that they are who they are and that their qualities and the things in their lives are more or less set in stone. That's definitely something I used to believe before. However, people with growth mindset believe that we are almost like a Play-Doh and we can learn, change, improve and almost reshape who we are. And I've gone through such transformation myself and I've seen it happening with loads of people, including loads of my clients. One of the worst things about fixed mindset is how it makes you think and feel about criticism, risk, and failure. People with fixed mindset take criticism extremely personal, because to them it's a personal attack on who they are. People with growth mindsets tend to see criticism as a feedback and an opportunity to learn and improve. And they're also much less likely to take it personally because they know that it's about their actions and not about who they are as a person. People with fixed mindset tend to avoid difficult tasks and challenges because there is a high chance of failure. And to them, failure is very personal and it makes them feel inadequate. Plus, they often see failure as permanent. But people with growth mindset are much more likely to welcome and enjoy difficult tasks and challenges because they see it as a great opportunity to push their comfort zone and stretch themselves and learn new things and become better as a result of that. People with fixed mindsets often give up easily when things get a little difficult, and then they search for the next shiny thing. They prefer easy tasks that require minimum effort. Hey, because why trying hard? If you are not good enough, you're not good enough. Growth mindset people understand that trying and failing is part of the journey towards accomplishing anything extraordinary or meaningful. Growth mindset people know that trying and failing is part of the journey towards accomplishing anything extraordinary. They know that great things don't come easy, but they also believe that if they persevere, they will succeed. For people with fixed mindset, it's usually only the result that counts. But people with growth mindset know that life is a journey of continuous and never-ending improvement. And every challenge and adversity makes us better, stronger, and more capable. Growth mindset people love learning and they love the journey. And finally, people with fixed mindsets tend to take the world around them at face value. It is what it is, not much I can do about it. They tend to adhere to the tradition, status quo, and dogma. People with growth mindset believe that almost anything can change. When you think of all the inventors and revolutionaries and people who have changed the way we do things, they were all people with a growth mindset. You know, when I got into personal development and my mind started shifting from the fixed mindset to the growth mindset, I realized that we create our own reality because we can change the way we look at the world. We can change the lens through which we look at the world and through which we look at ourselves. And this lens is our expectations, our beliefs, our values, our perspective. And there is a saying, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. You always have a choice of how you look at your situation. You can focus on all the disadvantages and limitations, or you focus on all the positives and opportunities. Well, hey, the reality is it's all there, right? But if you have a choice of what you can see, what you can focus on, because it will affect how you feel about it, then why wouldn't you focus on the positive side of the spectrum rather than the negatives? The true beauty and power of the growth mindset is that it gives you control over your life and yourself rather than feeling like a hostage or a victim of your circumstances. Growth mindset opens the world of possibilities and opportunities. So why doesn't everybody just embrace this growth mindset if it could change their life? Well, I believe that the main reason is that, in order to do that, people would have to quit making excuses and they would have to take responsibility for who they are and for what's going on in their life and the fact that they probably have something to do with the situation they are in. And that's not a step everybody is willing or ready to make. But a growth mindset is what makes the difference between creating and living and enjoying the life you love or putting up with the one you don't love. And now I have a question for you. Do you think you have more of a fixed mindset or more of a growth mindset? Leave your answer in the comment section. I'd love to hear that, and I'd love to see how many of you are on the journey towards building your growth mindset and building that awesome life. Hey, as always, thank you for watching. I hope it's been useful. Don't forget to press that little sucker and subscribe so you get updates about my future videos. I really appreciate your attention. I hope it's useful, and I'll see you again on the next video.